Step 1, read the Bible. Step 2, pray. Step 3, benefit others. And then step 4 of lockdown living Jesus' way, well, it's really the best way we can benefit other people. Step 4, let's tell our family and our friends the good news all about Jesus. You know what? God thinks it's such a good thing to tell people about Jesus that he actually describes it as beautiful. We're going to see that in a verse in the Bible, Romans chapter 10 verse 15. It was written in the 1st century, not long after Jesus rose from the dead and went to be with his Father in heaven. So here we go, Romans chapter 10 verse 15. It says this: "How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news." God thinks that when we tell other people about Jesus, it is beautiful. Now that might not be our first thought. We might think that telling people about Jesus is cringe and awkward and tricky, but God thinks it's beautiful. This is the God who made the shiny stars that light up our sky. This is the God who made the huge snowy peaks and the stunning sunsets. This is the God who knows what real, true, lasting beauty really is. And he says that beauty is this: telling our family and our friends the good news about Jesus. The image in this verse is of someone running to bring people good news. Do we see that? I'll read it again. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. So just imagine someone's feet running through a hilly countryside, up and down some scraggly hills, through a grassy field, perhaps across a river splashing through the water, and then thudding into some leafy suburbs and into dusty towns and urban jungles, into hospitals and homes, schools and shops. All that running, well, normally it would make our feet pretty rank, wouldn't it? All the blisters, the wet socks, the smell. But just imagine those feet are in the 1st century, so no trainers. No, instead it would be open sandals, and no tarmac roads. No, it would be gritty, stony pathways. The cuts and the bruises and the dirt. Well, it'd be weird to call feet like that beautiful. And yet here's the thing. When a runner is actually a messenger, and when the message they're carrying is really good news, and even when it's been hard and difficult to share that message, it doesn't matter what their feet look like, their feet are beautiful. Because they've carried good news to people who really need to hear it. So just imagine for a second a messenger running from a battlefield for miles and miles and miles to return to their hometown where all of the people are waiting to hear the news, and they're nervous, and then the messenger says, "It's okay, we won the battle, we're safe." You can imagine the scene at that point, all these people grabbing a hold of this messenger and saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for coming to tell us this good news." They'd hold onto their feet and saying, "Thank you for coming all this way to tell us." And here's the thing I want us to realise today. When we tell our friends and our family about Jesus, we're like that messenger. We have beautiful feet. In fact, the most beautiful feet. Because there's no better news to share. There's no better news to carry. There's no better news that people need to hear than the good news all about Jesus. So when we tell people about who Jesus is and what he's done, who he is, that he's the Son of God, the King of the world, and what he's done, that he's died to save us, and he's risen to give us new life. He's made people like us who were enemies with God now forgiven friends with God. He's made us safe. We can access God. We can know him for ourselves. When we tell people about Jesus, who he is and what he's done for us, well, we're like that messenger who's come from the battlefield, sharing good news that people need to hear. And it is beautiful. And you know what? It's not just God who thinks it's beautiful. Those people who hear that good news about Jesus from our lips, people who hear it and turn and trust Jesus for themselves, people who find safety in Jesus, people who are saved by him, will they think what we've done is beautiful too? Now, we may find it awkward or cringe, but Jesus, he promises to be with us the whole time, to give us courage and strength to tell people about him. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. Just one final thought as we finish. How will our family and friends trust Jesus and be saved by him unless they hear about him? And how will they hear about him unless somebody tells them about him? And so, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. Jesus wants us to be messengers for him, to tell other people, to tell our family and friends all about Jesus, who he is and what he's done. And when we do that, it is beautiful. Step 4 of lockdown living Jesus' way, telling our family and our friends all about Jesus.